Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about why do some African boys tend to get married to other women, especially white girls, Asian girls, and other girls from different races instead of their women. This topic is actually a topic that so many people have been complaining recently, and I just thought it wise to bring my little contribution as far as this topic is concerned on this channel. So stay around, you might learn something that's gonna serve us so. First and foremost, let's talk about love, right? There are so many reasons why different people get married, okay, be they from the same ethnic groups, from the same nations, from the same continent. There are just a couple of reasons why people get married, and those same reasons tie to interracial marriages, all right? So do not get anything twisted. We are not here to promote any kind of racial attitude. We're just trying to give some reasons why we think that prompt some of these African immigrants to turn and find favor in the hands of women from other parts of the world. That notwithstanding, there are also African girls who tend to get married to men from different types of from different parts of the world. So this video is just exclusive for African immigrants who get married to other women from different races apart from the women back home. First, I would like you to know love, right? Whether love exists or not, or you can call it attraction, they can actually do that because they are attracted to these women. Two, interest. I think that in most cases, why people get married, all right, to people is because of interest. Selfish interest. It's not actually because of love. If not, why are you not with your secondary school lover or your university lover or your colleague that you love so much? Why did you get married to another person instead of the one that you loved? So you see what I'm talking about, right? So marriage is not actually about love. It's about a different thing. So it's about interest. Yeah, interest. Imagine you, an African immigrant in a country, you don't have papers, you're being chased up and down by the blues. What do you think is going to happen if you see a white girl who's ready to take you in? Yeah, why not go in there and have a stable life? So you see, you're not going to get married to your own sister who is also running away from the cops because she doesn't have papers. It's about interest. On the other side, we know of so many stereotypes like, oh, black guys have got some, big stuffs and all that in between the legs and all that. And so like some of the girls like, oh, yo, I want to try this. I want to see actually if this is true or not. They will get interested in some of the black boys. Why not keep them to themselves? Yeah, that is a very important point. Another reason, disappointment. Yeah, some of these guys that we talk about or that we are talking about, the conditions under which they travel to Europe are very deplorable. And in most cases, when they're going, they leave girlfriends, they leave women, they leave wives behind and children. But in most cases, when they stay abroad so long, these women turn to date other men in their countries, and it actually disappoints them, and they don't see any interest of getting back to the women, or better still, get married to black women. They'll go for white because of disappointments. Yeah, these things happened. Yeah, are you this kind of person who've been abroad for 10, 5, 6 years because you want to work money to come and take care of the family? Are you sure that when you get back home, she's still going to be on the same position that you kept her? This is just for a puzzle. So let's continue with what we are talking about. Why do actually so many black boys want to get married to white girls or women from other countries? Showbiz, bro. Yeah, it's for showbiz. Yeah, like there are some guys, the white women do not actually add them any talent, but they are being used for marketing purposes, for showbiz marketing purposes. There are so many guys that, I don't want to call names, when they go out there with the talent, the talent actually blossoms when they hook up with white celebs, with white girls. Yeah, it's like a matter of showbiz, All right. Even in the US, you see so many superstars get married to white girls. How do you see? Yeah, it's... And attitude. This is very important that we shouldn't forget to talk about attitude. Yeah, some of the attitude that our black women back home and out there is just so complicated. Those who are out there, they are why they get into the Western civilization and they abandon everything that is their own civilization as far as marriages are concerned and respect is concerned. They put up so many drama on the streets of Europe just to frustrate the men. And so these men turn to find a soft spot on the whites. Yeah, you see on social media a lot of drama, basically from our African women abroad. Their behavior, most of them, not all though, it's just so deplorable. So that might just be one of the reasons why some of the boys would just prefer to, let me get married to a white and see how it happens. Okay. And then poverty. Yeah, it's a very important factor. Poverty. Why would you want a black poor boy to go and also hook up with another black poor immigrant, both not having papers to be washing dishes in restaurants, or to be washing, or to be taking care of old people, or to be cleaning up the street of Europe? How do you think they're going to form a family? What kind of children are they going to actually give birth to? You see, there are just a couple of reasons why people might decide to go for women or other races than their own sisters. Yeah, talking about the case of business. We know it's very, very typical in so many places across the globe, right? And foreigners in certain countries turn to succeed more in their businesses when they get married to women from these localities. The case of Asia is very rampant in some countries in Asia, where when guys go in, they want to do business, they get married to the women from these countries, and the women show them around. They teach them the business and they make a lot of money. Well, as to what happened after that, it's none of my business, but I'm just talking what I know, right? Yeah. And then another reason could be just curiosity, like there's some boys who are growing up, they only see white girls on TV, they see just Chinese women only on TV, they see all these other beautiful races just on TV. They're like, oh, when I grow up, I want to see it real, okay. Yeah, they get married to these women just to see. Yeah, another very important reason why I wanted to talk to you about is the pressure that black boys go through when they are abroad, maybe due to the difficult environment or due to the certain legislation in some countries that do not turn to favor men in marriages, and the reactions of some of these African women towards that men when they know that they can gain if they divorce with their husbands. I don't want to name any country, but most of us, we know that recently there have been a lot of videos online where men are going through a lot of stress. Some go to the point of killing themselves and their families because they think that they work so hard to bring their women all along from Africa to Europe or US. And out of a sudden, because the women think that if they divorce with the men, they can have what we call child support and other opportunities, they decide to adopt a nagging attitude to force these men to divorce them and send them to the streets. We think that this point is very, very important, and that justifies why some of these men decide to go to white girls. But it doesn't actually mean that white girls also do not take advantage of this environment, but it is more rampant among the black community in Europe and in the US. This is very important and very, very crucial. I mean, the society at a certain level gives more favors for women. Sometimes, like there is this story I would like to talk to you about. I heard it was online. I watched the video of a Nigerian guy who happened to have brought his wife all the way from Nigeria after having worked in the US for a very long time, after building his career, his house, and then he decided that he was not going to get married to an American or whatever. He went to his hometown, got married to a woman, brought to the US. I don't know much about that story. And then you could hear him talking in the video after he shot the wife, and he was like, yeah, this is you lying down here. Are you still going to go and live in the house that you built with your mom? You want to turn my kids against me? You want to turn everything against me? Now you want to take my house and send me to the street with empty hands. We could hear him talking like that. This, for me, I don't know how. I cannot actually analyze because I don't know. Nobody heard the other part, the story of this woman, but it was so pathetic. How long are we going to keep taking advantage of certain institutional norms which are actually made just to better our society, not for us to hurt one another? How do you feel when you get in the situation where somebody has worked all his life, you want to divorce somebody and send him out to the street at the age of 55 or 60, when all his energy is gone and all his savings are gone? It's indeed very crazy, and these are some of the reasons why you would find African men or black men go in with other races, because they think at a certain level some of these races are comprehensive. However, I do not have a measuring scale to see if it is more with the black girls or more with European girls, but it's just something that is important to say and for other people to understand why some of the guys would prefer to go for white women. Yeah, there is another point. This one is what? The behavior that some of our African women adopt abroad when they know that they are the ones in position of wealth and power. Yeah, you wanna know more? Some situations where a woman is working and the husband is not working, or she is the one who even invited the husband abroad. Man, you gotta see what happens. Remember, the context in Africa is, or back home, is basically men taking care of women, generally more than 90% actually. When one of these women have the opportunity to be at the point of giving food to a man abroad, some of them turn to be wild, very, very wild against these boys, and to a point where they just want to run away for their lives. And this justifies why they, in most cases, wouldn't want to go in or get married with these ladies. Yeah, how about the treatment that some of these girls reserve to our African immigrants? Imagine a boy who studies in Africa, who is not opportune to work, who takes the road of the Atlantic Ocean, or who passes through the Mediterranean Sea, or who goes through the desert. All the obstacles on the way, some die and some survive under worst conditions. What treatment do some of these girls reserve to these our brothers who just arrived in Europe? Yeah, because maybe the girl doesn't have paper. It's sometimes reasonable. She wouldn't want to associate with this African brother who just arrived because he doesn't have paper, he's illegal, and she doesn't know what's going to happen. Some who even have papers push these boys away and call them names. Tell me, if you were in the place of this kind of a boy, when you make it up to the ladder, would you want to have an African girl as a woman? It is just a question, and you can hold the answer for yourself. The behavioral patterns of this kind of, the way some of these people behave pushes actually these boys to fall in the hands of women in other races. Remember, this video is not actually to too much justify, but just to give reasons. Some of the reasons, there are so many actually, right? But The same reason that ties to boys can actually or equally tie to girls, because actually some girls just go in marriage with other men from different countries, not for love, but because of this. And another reason is what? Some of them are possessed with the idea of hybrid children. Be it the African boys or the other women, the women from other races, they want to have hybrid children because they think they're beautiful. Yeah, just want to have kids, mix blood, and to raise them and see how they look like, you know. So there are a couple of reasons why African boys might turn to get married to women from other races. This point that I would not want to go without talking about is the fact that the scope also widens. When you are in Europe, you barely see your own people because you are being spread all over the region. So it's hard to actually get to meet a decent African girl. Unlike in Africa where the space is very saturated, you can see all variety in a day. So in abroad, the situations are not always the case, right? So it's very hard for you to get a masterpiece of what you have been dreaming to have. And what do you see? The alternative is when you get up in the morning, you see all white around the street everywhere, so you'll be like, oh, let me just do it. So as a matter of fact, there's a couple of reasons, but I just wanted to limit at this particular point to tell you why African boys get married to white girls and women from other races. I hope that you do enjoy this video. If you did, why not give it a thumbs up? Why not comment? Why not click the notification bell so that when next we upload a video in this channel, you are gonna watch it. Thank you for watching our video.